Here's like a weird turnoff for me. It's like a small, like slight turnoff, but like, I don't know, like, I don't know about you guys. I'm not a fan of painted nails and painted painted toenails. Like fingernails and toenails on girls I date. I'm actually not a fan of it. Like, okay, I've dated some Galyu girls in the past, and when I say Galyu girls, I'm not just saying Galyu. I mean like actual Japanese Galyu girls, and they go for the whole like fingernail, toenail kind of thing, and I'm actually not into it. Like, I prefer to see natural feet, natural hands. Like, to me, like, seeing nail polish and the colors is, like, distracting. Especially because some girls I've dated, they go full on, like, into the sparkles. Like, they go into, like, stars and moons and happy faces and shit, like, on their nails. And I'm like, why? Like, it's such a weird, small turnoff for me. But I'm actually not a fan. Like, yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. Like, oh my god. There was this, hold on, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Okay. Okay, wait, there was this one time. Speaking of painted, speaking of like painted fingernails and stuff. There was this one time. Hold on. Let me go ahead and okay, no, not this one. Not this one. Can't believe I didn't save this. Here we go. Oh, not that one. Not that one. This just something to play in the background. There you go. Okay. All right. So there was this one time. There's this one time when like, okay, so I went on a date with this was after I had slept with Taka's mom. So like this is like after the fact. So like of course like Taka's like cool with it now and stuff like that. So this was like afterwards, and I went on a date with Taka's mom, and she was feeling like she was like too old. So she wanted to make herself like younger. She wanted to like, she didn't want to like make it seem that she was like dating like a high schooler or anything like that, because I look pretty young for my age, and like she didn't want us to like be noticed by someone that she knew, and they'd be all like, damn, you dating high school boys? Like, she didn't want that, so she tried to make herself younger. So she got one of my friends. Okay, so she asked Taka to introduce her to like some young women to help her with her makeup and stuff like that. And Taka had some acquaintances from my friends that he like text message, and he was like saying something like, hey, like, I only have your number because of Tetsamaru, don't worry, but like, this is like a random thing. I'm Taka, maybe Tetsamaru talked about me, but my mom is going on a date and she wants like makeup help and advice or something. Like, could you help her? And he texted like 3 or 4 of like my friends, and like 2 of them responded back to him saying that they were more than happy to like help out like his mom and shit. And the 2 that he got happened to be like 2 of the most like Galyu bitches like on my friends list. So they all got together, and Taka's mom, I guess, was like, hey, I want to look young for my date because I don't want to seem old anymore. And she already looks young for her age anyway. Like, like Taka's mom looks like she never left high school. Like, I'm just gonna say it. She still looks like she never left high school. And at this point, she basically looks the same age as Taka, which is crazy, actually. So, like, so they Gaoyu'd her up a lot. They were gonna give her, like, a fake tan, but that was, like, the one thing she didn't want to do. But they at least, like, did her hair, they did her makeup, they did her fingernails and her toenails. So she wore sandals, or, like, she wore, like, one of those open toe shoes, like, for her date. To be fair, for her date, she wore clothes that she normally doesn't wear anyway. Like, she was wearing, like, this, like, she was just, like wearing, like, kind of, like, these skanky-ass, like Joshiko, like, girl clothes. Something that you would get from, like, I don't know, like, Forever 18 or something. And, like, I literally, like, didn't even recognize her when I went to pick her up, like, for her date. And I remember, okay, so we were meeting up at, like, a spring, like a fountain spring or something, and we were meeting there at 10 a.m. That's when we're gonna meet up. I went there, and, like, I was, like, an hour earlier, and I remember sitting down, and I was like, all right, cool, so I'm just gonna, like, just sit here and just, like, I'm gonna, like, play it off, too, because, like, there was, like, this light pole fixture, and I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to make it seem like I was there waiting forever for Taka's mom. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to lean back against, like, the light pole fixture with, like, my hands in my pocket. Because I didn't want to be on my phone. I didn't want to be on my phone or anything like that. So I just wanted to kind of just, like, look at the sky or, like, look around or something. Just really play it off cool. So that way I could say that I just got here. Because, okay, the worst thing I think you could do, other than, like, being late for a date, obviously, is to be, like, too early for a date, but then, like, you're on your phone. You're on your phone. I think that's bad, too, though. Like, okay, dating advice from Tetsamaru. Like, if you're there early for a date and you get there before your date, I think it's bad for you to be busy playing on your fucking phone while you're waiting for your date to show up. Because when your date shows up, that's telling your date that, like, hey, I've been waiting here for, like, half an hour for your ass. Like, basically, you're making them feel late, even though, you know, the time was maybe, like, 9 o'clock, and you got there at 8, so, like, they're not late. But if you're there playing on your phone, it kind of makes it sound like you're waiting for them forever or something. Like, the only way you can make that worse is to not even have your phone out, but to have, like, a fucking game console with you. Like, to have, like, your fucking Switch, Nintendo Switch or Game Boy with you. Like, that'd be making it worse. So don't just be playing on your phone or some shit like that when you're waiting for your date. At least that's my dating advice. But anyway, like, I was put up against the light pole, hands in my pocket, just playing it cool, and I was there for, like, about 15 minutes, and I see, like, this Gaoyu girl. Like, walking by or something, and I'm all like, hey, that girl's pretty cute. I mean, like, she's not really my type, but she's pretty cute. I'm just looking, you know, I'm just looking at, like, whoever's walking by. And this fountain spring area that I was waiting for Taka's mom at, it's kind of a popular dating spot. So, like, I see, like, other couples, like, around, like, also, like, waiting, like, for their dates too and shit. And then, like, the Joshiko girl starts talking to me, and she's like, oh, are you waiting for someone? And I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for my date. So, you know, I've actually been here for, like, 15 minutes already, but, like, I'm early, and, like, I kind of want to play it off cool. Like, I literally tell her, like, my entire plan to, like, how, like, I was gonna, like, sit up against the light pole fixture with my hands up pocket and shit, and so that way it can be really cool, like, when my date shows up and shit. And then I found out that the Joshiko girl I was talking to was actually Taka's mom the entire time. And then she's all like, you don't recognize me? I'm like, fuck no! You don't wear clothes like this! Like, I literally could not recognize that it was her. And also, she even, like, played up her voice and stuff. Like, so this is, like, a Japanese girl thing I noticed. So a lot of Japanese girls, they like to higher pitch their voice when they're on a date or something to, like, make themselves sound cuter. Like, it's not even, like, their natural, like, voice or whatever. And that's what Taka's mom was doing. So she pitched her voice, so I couldn't even tell it was her either way. Not to mention she had, like, loads of makeup on and stuff. And I was all like, why? Like, why are you dressed up like this? And she's all like, oh, I didn't want to be old. And I'm like, girl, you're not old. And like, who did you get? Because obviously you didn't do it. Who did you get to like do your makeup and crap? And then like when she told me, I was like, wait. And then like I showed her my phone contacts. I'm like, wait, you mean these two bitches on my phone contacts? And she's like, yeah. Like I asked Taka to like get me like girls that can help me with my makeup and shit. And then at that moment in time, like I called them up on my phone. You know, it's like 9:45 a.m. right now. And I'm all like, hey, did you guys help out Taka's mom with like her makeup and shit? And they're like, yeah, do you like it? You like it? And I was like, God, girls, like this is too much. This is too much. Like I can't even tell it's her anymore. And like I was appreciative of the effort, but like I was dating Taka's mom because I liked her for who she was, not because I wanted to date some Galyu girl bimbo, if that makes any sense. Like I wanted, like, yeah, I've dated Galyu girls in the past, but that's because I knew I was into Galyu girls, like, back then. And then they were like, oh, come on, Tetsu, you know she hot. You know you want to jump those bones right away. And I'm all like, I mean, I already have, but, like, I mean, I'm not going to say she looks terrible. She does look good. And looks like the guys did kind of, like, shave off, like, 10 years off her looks, I guess. But, like, considering how young she really looked anyway, like, saying that they shaved off 10 years off of her basically makes her go from, like, being 26 years old to, like, being, like, 16 years old. Like, it's not that much of a difference. And here's the best part, by the way. Here's the best part. So, I did not tell Taka's mom, like, what we were doing for the date at the time. So, she dressed up for me for this date. Because maybe she assumed we were just gonna do some normal stuff, like go watch a movie, or like go shopping or something. But I wanted like to take her to like this kind of like Japanese date kind of thing. So I actually took her to Kyoto, and we went into like one of those old school Japanese like drama towns, where like you dress up in like authentic like Meiji era Japanese attire, like with the kimonos and everything. So, like, she kind of had to undo all the Galyu makeup, because she's dressed like a modern Galyu girl, but the date I was taking her on, and I already had made reservations, the date I was taking her on was gonna make us dressed up as if we were from, like, you know, the Meiji era. What's the Meiji era? Like 1800s? 1800s Japan, Meiji era. So, basically, I got to admire her Galyu girl makeup for, like, all but, like, 30 minutes. Because we took a train. We took a train to, Kyoto town, basically. And, like, she went into, yeah, the Kyoto period drama sets. Yeah, that. So, like, now she was, like, doing, like, authentic Japanese beauty. So, she wore a kimono, her hair was done up, and then, like, we went through, like, a Meiji-era town kind of thing to do like some shopping. We ate lunch, and like we watched some old school like plays and shit. There was also like a manzai. There was like a manzai thing, you know, because it's Kyoto. So Kyoto loves manzai. So there was that thing too, and that was kind of fun. I didn't get some of the Japanese jokes, but like Taka's mom was kind of like telling them to me, and I was like, oh, now I get it. But yeah, like, okay, so it took her like an hour to do her makeup. So, an hour or 2 hours. 2 hours before the date, Taka's mom was with two of my Galyu friends. They did her makeup, and they put her in like these like Forever 18 clothes or something. So she looks kind of slutty. And then she did all that just for me to say, hey, we're going to kind of like the Kyoto prefecture for a Japanese date instead. Surprise. Because, like, I'm the one leading. I was the one leading the date. So I didn't tell her what we were doing. But, like, I was like, yeah, we're gonna do, like, some Japanese stuff. So, I'm not saying you look bad, but you're gonna have to undo that makeup anyway. The date was great, though. The date was great. But, like, I just basically undid, like, all the all the work that she did to just try to look younger for me. After 1870? Ah, gotcha. Sengoku or late Meiji? Honestly, if you're asking me like for something that specific, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Like, literally when I was picking up like the date spot for me and Taka's mom, I kind of just like quick Googled it, like Japanese, like Japanesey dates to have around in Japan or something, and like I just picked one at random. I picked one at random because I wanted to pick one that like they would dress you, that they would dress you in like the kimono or like hakama or something like that, and so I wouldn't be able to tell you like the exact era that it was supposed to be in, but it's supposed to be like an old school thing. I mean, she looked beautiful in her kimono as well, though, guys. All right, like basically it's like two flavors. Like, if I feel like it, it's like, yeah, I'll fuck a Gaoyu girl tonight. Hey, Taka's mom, go dress like a Gaoyu girl slut. Or I feel like fucking you old school, so go put on a kimono. Cause she looks good either way. She looked good in both the kimono and the Gaoyu girl. But I'm just not I wasn't used to seeing her in her Gaoyu girl outfit. And then I asked too, I was like, wait, like, did you buy those clothes? Or are you borrowing those clothes, like, from the girls? Like, she did borrow, like, her slutty-ass outfit from, like, the two girls on my friends list. And I was like, oh, okay, well, give it back to them, because you're not going to need those anymore. And then I told her that she could just be herself when we go on a date. Like, she doesn't have to make herself look younger for me. Because I think she already looks hot as it is. She doesn't have to be something that she's not. She does have like a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? She does have like a little bit of like a worry that like she's too young to date or whatever like that. But then I'm like telling her like, listen, like if 70-year-old guys can still date and go to mixers, then like you're still young enough to like date and go to mixers. There's nothing wrong with dating if you're still single, you know. So like I was trying to reassure her that like there's nothing wrong with her age, because I think she's fine, and she's actually one of the more popular girls when she goes to mixers too. Like guys always be hitting her up, and Taka always tells me too that like if Taka had to choose, then like even though he was weirded out at first, like Taka would still rather like me like bang his mom than like for some like random like 60-year-old like manager at a Japanese company fucking his mom. And Taka says it's just because of familiarity, because at least he knows me, and he knows I'm not like a super piece of shit that like I'm gonna like treat his mom like a bitch or something like that. And then like if his mom meets someone at a mixer and like it's just like some old guy at like a Japanese black company, you know, that like dating his mom, like Taka doesn't know that guy, and Taka also doesn't know if like he's gonna treat his mom like a bitch or whatever, or if he's even serious about a relationship, or if he's just like using his mom. Like Taka doesn't like that his mom goes to mixers, but like Taka's mom has long since like gotten over her late husband. I've talked about this before, but Taka was like around like 5 or like 6 years old like when his dad died, so he has some memories of his dad, but he doesn't have a lot of memories from his dad. And Taka's mom was a teenage pregnancy, so like they met like in high school or something. She got pregnant pretty early on, but then like his dad died and she was a single mom the entire time. However, growing up though, it wasn't that bad for Taka. Like, okay, yeah, single mom, whatever, but his dad actually left his mom a lot of money, actually. So there was like not that much of a struggle period when like Taka was initially born. And then Taka's mom got like a pretty decent job, like working at like a receptionist for like a high-tier Japanese corporation, and she got paid pretty well for it too. And this corporation actually legit had like a babysitting service in the building, which is pretty nice. So Taka, as like a baby slash toddler, like he spent a lot of time in that kind of like that nursery at that corporation. So And the best part was, like, it wasn't a black corporation either. It was like a legit good corporation. So Taka's mom, like, wasn't forced to, like, work, like, long hours and crap like that. I mean, the fact that they even had, like, a nursery little babysitting area in that office building probably speaks volumes, like, how good that corporation is. I don't even remember what company it is anymore now. I know that I asked, like, Taka's mom before that, but, like, I think it was a fucking potato chip factory. I think it was a snack. I think it's like a snack corporation. I have no idea. She made good money being a receptionist for whatever, though. And, because, like, Taka's dad, he like, worked for, like, the military or something. So, like, he also got life insurance at, like, a super young age. And he paid, like, a premium for that life insurance, I remember. Like, a lot of his military money was, like, going into that life insurance. And then, like, whatever money he had left over, he spent it on, like, date money for, like, him and, like, Taka's mom and shit. Because, like, Taka's dad was, like, he was, like, completely, like, head over heels for his mom. Like, he was, like, a simp or something. Like, he was, like, a major simp. And, you know, they did it one time. Like, I remember asking this, too, for Taka and his mom, like, when we were having dinner together one time. I was like, hey, personal question. You guys don't have to answer it. But, like, all right, teenage pregnancy. How many times did you guys do it before you got pregnant? And, like, they weren't offended by it at all. And Taka's mom was like, oh, like, me and Taka's dad only did it one time. And I got pregnant, you know, like, in high school. So, like, as soon as she found out, like, she was pregnant, Taka's dad, like, immediately proposed to her. And he was like, hey, like, I'm gonna take care of you and stuff like that. And, like, right, like, out of high school or whatever, like, he was already, like, joining the military, or whatever. Because I guess he was gonna be, like, some kind of, like, jet fighter, like, pilot or something. I'm not really sure. And, like I said, he did pay for that life insurance or whatever. Which the life insurance might have been a package deal because he was working with the military anyway. And then, like I said, he died. So, like, that insurance money went to Taka's mom. So that's why they weren't that hard up on money initially. Even like when Taka was, like, you know, still young or whatever. You know, it's like, hey, like, dad's dead, but, like, mom's not that hard up for bills and whatever. So it's like, okay then. You know, like, I guess, like, it wasn't the worst for Taka's mom that, like, it could have been. And like I said, she did have a good job. But the one thing that Taka was always, not happy about was the fact that, like, since his mom was openly single, he was just tired of, like, people telling him, like, yo, your mom's hot. You know, Taka definitely did not like hearing that growing up, like, all the time. He told me that, like, one of the worst experiences he ever had, too, was back in middle school. In middle school, you know how, like, a lot of schools have, like, that parent day or something, where, like, parents come to watch you in class or whatever shit like that? So, like, he had that, like, in middle school. And, like, his mom, of course, came by. And he begged his mom, too. Because, like, in middle school, like, at this point, like, Taka is fully aware that, like, how hot his mom is or whatever like that. He's fully aware. And he tried his damnedest best to, like, get people to not meet his mom. And in middle school, when they were having the parent day, you know, he was like, Mom, please don't come. Please don't come. But his mom wanted to come. And because of how young and how hot she is, like, when she came by, people legitimately thought, like, she was a high school girl or something like that. And then, like, you know, and she is a teenage pregnancy. She was a high school pregnancy or whatever. So she's, like, sitting there in class. She looks significantly younger. That's what Taka was telling me. Like all the parents are lined up at the back, and she literally looks like a high schooler. She looks significantly younger than, like, all the other parents. And, like, some of Taka's classmates were, like, hitting on his mom and shit, like, after class. And Taka was like, I never wanted to kill someone so bad. Like, he wanted to, like, just, like, he wanted to, like, beat up, like, all his, like, middle school friends. And he just wanted to, like, get out of there, like, as soon as possible. And things were not easier when he went to high school either. Because, like, in high school, you got all those, like, hormones raging in those high schoolers. So, like, more and more people were trying to, like, hook up with, like, Taka's mom and shit like that. And, like, by that time, that's when I was friends with Taka. And, like, after, like, I had, like, gone over to Japan to meet them and stuff like that. So, like, that was back when Taka was telling me that if he had to choose, he would have chosen me. But this was before I slept with his mom, though. And then, like, after I slept with his mom, he was all like, you know what? I should be angry, but I'm not angry because I kind of saw this coming. I just wasn't sure when it would happen. But yeah, Taka is sick of people telling him how hot his mom is. Taka's dad is a Jitai? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't hear too many stories about Taka's dad just because of how early he died on, and since Taka doesn't have a lot of memories of him. And like that definitely feels pretty personal, so I usually don't ask too many questions about that from his mom. He died a long time ago and his mom has gone over it, so I don't ask. I usually don't ask questions. Alright. I got a little bit off topic there.